Well, here's our trusty 135 scraper tractor, used every day in the winter. It's a good little workhorse, pretty old now, nearly 50 odd years old, but still going strong. A little job today, I'm going to change the oil filter on it. And unlike oil filters on a modern tractor, which are just one solid metal unit you unscrew, this one's actually got a paper filter in it inside here, this case here. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to unbolt that, but first of all I've got to drain the oil. So typical, they don't make it easy. The drain plug is right underneath here. I think you can just see, there it is, that bolt there. So I've got to undo that, drain out the oil and put a new filter in. I've got the new filter here. Where is it? Just here. There we go. See what I mean about a paper filter? The modern ones would have a metal covering on that, and that just basically filters out the particles of dirt so that the oil stays clean for longer. But the oil that will come out of this tractor will be black as anything, I expect. Anyway, I'm going to undo that bolt and drain the oil out. At some point I'm going to have to resort to the tripod though, because once I start messing around with this I'm going to get absolutely covered in oil. But we'll see how we go. So you can see it's done 9,189 hours, quite a lot. Deserves an oil filter change, I think. Okay, so I'm just going to slide this container underneath to catch the oil, just to cut off the plastic drum, which should catch the oil when I undo it. So I've got my spanner, and let's see how we get on. Okay, get ready for the gush. Okay, so that's nearly all the oil coming out of the engine. It's just dripping a little bit more, so we'll leave that dripping away. I'm now going to take out the filter, which I'm going to put in this other container. This is where it gets really messy. I'm going to put this on the tripod to film this, because I can't hold the camera because I'll just be covered in oil. So let's see how we get on. Okay, so we've just got a bolt underneath, which I need to unscrew. Because this being an old tractor, it's all imperial. go. So that's the oil filter out, and you can just see in here the old one, pretty heavily gunked up, black as the ace of spades, still dripping a bit of oil out, and here's the new one next to it. So quite a difference, slightly different mesh on the outside of this one, but nice clean filter, horrible dark one. So now what I've got to do is just put it back in that container, the cover there, and put it back on. There you go, that's that tightened. So now what I've got to do is fill it up with oil. There we go. Put that oil back in there. That's not going back in, that's grim. So one jug at a time in the engine, and here's the slot here, so I'm just going to undo that and start filling her up. I'm not exactly sure how many jugs are needed in here, so I'll have to keep a steady eye on it, so I don't want to overfill it. I'll be checking the dipstick at some point, but I'll carry on filling up. I should think it'll probably need 3 or 4 jugs at least. Good clean engine oil. Okay, next one. So I'll just check the dipsticks here, how full it is. I mean, you can see on there, minimum, maximum, so on the line there. So I've filled the tractor up with oil now. Should be good for quite a few more 100 hours. Let me put that back in there. That's it, job done. So that is how to change an oil filter on a 135 tractor. All I've got to do now is dispose of the oil here and the filter, which is under there. Well, we've still got the actual original manual that came with the tractor when we bought it. Dad's had this tractor about 40 years. It's from Gloucester originally, and I just thought I'd check in the maintenance section how often to carry out an oil and filter change. Well, change oil every 150 hours, it said, if conditions of dusty involving extensive light or heavy running. Change oil at 300 hours maximum and renew filter element under normal conditions. But I've just checked the back of the book because I thought I was right when I changed oil filters, and well, I'm not sure, but it says July 2008. I'm sure I would have changed it before then or since then. I can't believe we've got 6 years without changing oil filter, 8,478 hours, and we've seen the hours on it as 9,189 hours. So well deserved an oil filter change anyway. Better write in there now when I've changed it, otherwise I'll forget for next time. So I'm just disposing of the old engine oil now, which will ultimately get recycled. Horrible gloopy stuff.